Okay, this is the presentation I made for Google Jamboard. This, for background purposes, this is a lesson I would do with my 8th grade students. So this is the introductory part of it. So eventually we're going to read an article and do a Socratic seminar. So that's the title slide. The students would then take out a piece of paper and set up for some notes. Their central question is, how are smartphones serving people as an object of comfort? Okay, so by the time we're done with this, they should be able to answer that question. I did leave them some directions to leave space on the top of the notes to respond to 3 prompts. Here is the first prompt. We tend to suffer cognitively, thinking, reasoning, remembering when our phones are nearby. So the students would get about 2 minutes to write a response in their notes to that prompt. Then they would go through and take a sticky note and just put their name in the corner. So it's like set up like 4 corners basically. So everyone can see kind of what they think. We would have a short kind of mini discussion just to get an idea of why people strongly agree or disagree with it. What are some of the arguments that are out there? Then we would move on to the second prompt, which is people hold a deep personal connection with their phones. We'd follow the same process. They'd answer that in their notes to kind of gather their thinking, and then they'd go through and place their name on here. Again, we'd start a little bit of a discussion. We don't want to get too deep into it because we want to save that for our Socratic seminar. But again, just to kind of see what their thinking is heading into the article itself. Okay, the third prompt then is people express their views more freely on their phones rather than on tablets or laptops. Okay, and again, they would go through, write a response, and then they would come back and add their name into which of the 4 corners they would fall. When they're done, we would pass out the article and they do what we call a gist reading. So this is just a one-time through, no editing, no annotating, no note-taking. They're just reading it to get the gist of what the author said. Okay. When they are done, we'd have them go at their tables. So I've got 6 tables in my room. And they would record what as a group, they would talk about what they felt the main idea of the article was. If they're not sure, we gave them that little prompt on their focus on the who, what, when, where, and why. They can use either a text box or a sticky note to write down what the table came up with as the main idea of the article. And then they would record that here in each of the grids. From here, we would go into the next day, and then we would do a more detailed, focused reading where they would then annotate, add to their notes, and then eventually write questions and prepare for a seminar either on day 3 or 4, depending on where the group is and how quickly we're able to move through the readings.